Good morning. This is the Town of Hempstead Board of Appeals, November 19th, 2025, 9:30 meeting. Will everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Mr. Chairman, do you have any opening remarks?
Yes. For those of you who have not been here before, the order in which we call the cases are as follows. First, we will ask if there are any applications for an adjournment. If so, we'll take those cases first. And then, once we're finished with that, we'll call the regular calendar. We generally start with renewals, and we move through those cases fairly quickly, after which we'll go into the regular calendar. The hearings are conducted as follows. The applicant will state their case. If there are any people here in opposition, we'll hear the opposition, and then we'll allow the applicant to close. We will accept just about anything in the way of, anything reasonable in the way of evidence. I don't believe there are any contested cases on this morning, but you never know. The proceedings are videotaped, they're archived, so if you want to refer to them in the future, you're free to do so. We also have a court reporter here. Everything is taken down. So when you speak, we ask that you speak into the microphone and relatively slowly. It's not a speed contest. Right? Patrick? Are there any applications for an adjournment?
Mr. Chairman, I do not have any applications for adjournment for this morning.
And we'll start with the cases.
First, we have case 583-25, East Meadow, Richard and Maria Capace. Renewal of grant to maintain a portion of pool enclosure 8 feet high, also known as 377 Robin Place. Mr. Chairman, there is an application for an appearance waiver on this case.
This is a residential case. It's a renewal, so we'll grant the application for an appearance waiver. The building department inspected the premises, I believe it says on August 27, 2025, and they found that all conditions previously imposed by this board are being complied with. If I don't have any questions from the board, I'd like a motion.
The hearing be closed, the case placed on a decision calendar. When the board renders its decision, we will notify the applicant.
Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Next cases.
Next, we have cases 584-25 through 585-25, Wantaw, 1733 Wantaw LLC, renewal of grants, maintain previously approved two-family dwelling, maintain detached garage with non-permitted storage above, also known as 1733 Wantaw Avenue.
Anyone here on this case? Come up.
Address is 1290 Hicksville Road, Unit 1551, North Massapequa, New York, 11758.
And what is your relationship to the applicant, sir?
I am the owner.
Pardon?
I am the owner.
Okay. All right. This is also a renewal of a grant. The building department inspected the property on August 20th, 2025, and they found that all conditions previously imposed by the board are being complied with. Do you have anything you'd like to add, sir?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
I move the hearing be closed, the case placed on a decision calendar. When the board renders its decision, you will be notified.
Second. All in favor? Any opposed?
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Next, we have cases 586-25 through 588-25, West Hempstead, C&R Studios Incorporated, care of Brenda Picone, renewal of grants to maintain retail store in Res B District, maintain retail store and single-family dwelling attached thereto in Res B District, waive off-street parking, also known as 666 Nassau Boulevard.
Okay, this is also a renewal. The building department inspected the premises on August 14th, 2025, and they found that all conditions previously imposed by the board are being complied with. If there are no questions from the board, I'd like to have someone make a motion. Someone like to make a motion? Is there anyone here on this case? Oh, come up.
Brenda Piccone, 664 Washington Street, West Hempstead, New York.
How can we help you, ma'am?
It's just that
Are
I
you
know-
appearing for the applicant?
Yes.
I see. And what is your relationship?
I'm his daughter.
Okay, he couldn't be here?
My father's 91, and I'm the executor of his will. He passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
Okay. All
I
right.
have all papers if you need to see them.
No, I don't believe we need to
Okay.
see those. All right, the building department inspected the property on August 14th. They found that you're in compliance on all the conditions previously imposed by the board. Any questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion? She's the executor.
Make a motion, the hearing be
Yeah,
closed and the case
have you
be-
been appointed by the court already?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I have everything, if you need to see it.
You have letters?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Once the estate is settled, what do you mean by that? She has the authority. I don't know. But it says individual. It's an individual. Of the corporation, or are you an officer? Yeah,
My father was an owner.
all right, but was he the sole member or the sole stockholder of the corporation, or were there other corporate members, and
No,
are...
no, no.
All right, are you an officer of the corporation?
Yes.
What office do you
I'm an
hold?
executor.
No,
I'm the owner
that's-
now. Now I'm the owner.
Are you the sole legatee in the will?
My brother and my sister also.
Okay, so you're one of the legatees.
Yes.
All right,
And
She
I
had-
must say, the antique store has not been open for 13 years. Because,
okay.
many years, but we never know.
Is it still it's a retail store but not open?
It's not open.
No what?
Excuse me?
It
It's,
it is a retail store?
yes, it is, but it's not open.
What is it being used for?
Just closed when my mother had passed away, my father wouldn't open it, but there's an apartment, so it's being used for that. There's an apartment in the back, and I pay, insurance for everything.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
God forbid, between the
No,
retail,
you keep doing the right,
Yep.
keep doing the right thing.
yeah.
Sure.
Sorry, I missed, minor emergency, so I missed some of your testimony. But if I understand correctly, the store has not been operating for the last 13 years.
Yes,
And what kind of store was
it's
it?
an antique store.
Okay, and is it still full of antiques?
Uh-huh, so that's why I pay insurance a
Okay.
lot.
Are you intending to reopen the store?
We hope to,
Okay, and you intend to reopen it as an antique store?
yes.
Okay, so generally when parking waivers are granted, they're granted related to the specific kind of business, because while the parking waiver might be appropriate for your antique store, you could imagine that, you know, if a Chick-fil-A went in there, there'd be a whole lot more spaces needed to accommodate that.
Yes, I
So,
understand. It's really parking for the tenants. There's only a couple that's lived there for a very long time.
how
That's
many,
why.
how many apartments? Just one?
One,
Okay, and there's a couple that lives there. So there-
husband and
there-
wife.
There's two parking for them. That's why it's a complete waiver.
That's it.
Because the store required some number when it was open of off-street parking spots. I'll make
Yes.
up a number, let's say 8.
Uh-huh.
But you were granted, or father, or the company was granted a waiver. Okay, we're not gonna make you have those 8 spots off the street. We're gonna let your
Most
people.
likely, we're not going to reopen. Hasn't been open for all this time.
You just,
So-
Okay, but what I'm saying is, while your store could probably have operated properly without any parking for the customers, right? They could park on the street, so you didn't, you got a
Absolutely.
waiver for those 8 spots.
Right.
If you sold that building and a Chick-fil-A bought it, the Chick-fil-A is gonna need a lot more spots. So renewing this waiver for that business makes sense, but renewing this waiver for an unknown business is a whole
I
other
would
animal.
never do that, ever. It's
I
my
understand,
family's.
I understand. So you think in reality, as much as you'd like to reopen the store as an antique store, as a practical
No,
matter,
we will sell it as a family home,
you think you're gonna sell the whole structure as a home?
yes, to my family,
Okay, and then it will just go back to being a residential property?
absolutely. I would never do that to my
No,
family.
there's nothing wrong with doing that, don't get me wrong. Do you think, I know you're doing a lot right now, and I apologize for so many questions.
okay.
Do you think that the answer to what actually will happen, whatever that is gonna be something that happens in the next year, in terms of if it's gonna be a store, or something that you think is gonna take another 10 years before it gets
No,
worked out?
Not 10 years, we have to get rid of everything, and then I would sell it as a home to one of my nieces or nephews.
Okay, great, I appreciate it, and I'm sorry for your loss.
No, thank you.
any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. You'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered. Thank you.
Okay,
Second,
thank you.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Next, we have case 589 of 25, Oceanside, Allen K. Leon, BP Station. Renewal of grant to maintain one double-faced illuminated ground sign with price sign attached thereto, not permitted, 71.27 square feet per face, overall size 142.5 square feet, overall height 21 feet 4.5 inches, setback 3.7 feet from Oceanside Road, and within the clear site triangle, also known as 160 Davidson Avenue.
Morning.
Larry O'Brien with High Point Engineering, 1860 Walt Whitman Road, Millville, New York. Sure. Thank you. Okay. All right.
I'm Kara Schlepp.
One more time? Sure. Okay. Larry O'Brien with High Point Engineering, 1860 Walt Whitman Road, Millville, New York. Thank you.
And I'm Kara Schleffman, also with High Point Engineering, 1860 Walt Whitman Road, Melville, New York.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Chairman and board members. We're representatives of the applicant, Beyond Petroleum, for the BP station, and we're here to renew the permit and the acceptance of the ID's ground sign for the BP station. And we've confirmed that they've been maintaining and keeping it clean as per the requirements and conditions.
Okay. Yes. So the building department inspected the property on September 12th, 2025, and they found that all previously imposed conditions are being complied with. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, we're in agreement with that.
Any other questions from the board member?
Good.
Thanks.
No, Mr. Chairman, I would just move that the hearing be closed. The matter be placed on the decision calendar and be notified by mail.
Second,
Great,
all
thank
in
you.
favor? Any opposed?
Next,
Have a
we
good
have
day.
case 590 of 25, Merrick Jennifer Roberts, variance, lot area occupied, maintain outdoor shower, also known as
How are you doing?
2164 Seneca Drive South.
Good.
Tina Pangallo, 549 Hempstead Turnpike, West Hempstead, New York, 11552. Good morning, Chairman, members of the board. I'm
Morning.
representing Jennifer Roberts of 2164 Seneca Drive in Merrick. The property is located on the south side of Seneca Drive, 1,009.79 feet east of Seneca Gate in Residence B. We're requesting a variance to maintain an outdoor shower that violates the lot coverage allowed of 27.5%. The lot coverage provided is 27.8%. I needed an easy one. I needed an easy one this week.
That's a huge, it's huge.
The shower, the shower is 6.45 by 5.45 for a total of 11.9 square feet. Mrs. Roberts' husband put the shower up, and he passed away. In speaking with the homeowner, I asked her if she wanted to go through the expense of a variance and plumbing permit and fees, but because her husband built it before he passed away, it has such sentimental value that she doesn't want to remove it, and I do have letters from two neighbors.
God bless her.
I'm
We'll
respectfully
accept
asking the board
those
to
in
grant this
evidence.
variance.
Do you know your client has several open building and plumbing permits? Are they going to be closed out?
They should have been all closed out. The basement, the finished bathroom, that's all been closed out. See if I have a current certificate search.
Was it after April of this year?
Yes, it would have been.
Our search sheets printed that.
Dated in April.
He has copies of the certificates.
Those are copies of what?
The certificates.
Oh,
June, yes.
okay. Yeah, any other questions from the board?
Are you here on the case, this case? No. Oh, okay.
No, they
I
just
move
walked
that the
in.
hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Ms. Bengali be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's ready.
Second.
Thank you very much.
All in favor? Any opposed? Bless you.
Next, we have case 591 of 25, Belmore David Manara, variances, front yard setbacks on Mitchell Street and Mitchell Place. Side yard, construct second-story
It's getting
addition, a portion of which is open below, front portico, and 2 AC units all attached to dwelling, also known as 104 Mitchell Street.
Mr. Koutsouras.
Good morning. My name is Dean Koutsouras. My address is 121 Newbridge Road, Hicksville, New York, 11801. I am here today on behalf of David Manara, the owner of 104 Mitchell Street in Belmore. We're seeking a variance to propose a second-story addition, and a portion of it will create a rear covered patio in the backyard. In addition, we're also adding a front portico to the house. The variances we're seeking are for front yard setback along Mitchell Street and Mitchell Place, and a side yard setback for the air conditioner only. So the air conditioner, we'll start with that one, that's the easiest one, leaves a setback of 4.2 feet along the south property line. The structure in that space is going straight up, and that leaves a setback of 5.9. That actually complies. So the two variances, or the only side yard variance we're asking for is 4.2 feet to the air conditioner. The other variances we're asking for is front yard along Mitchell Street and front yard along Mitchell Place. Along Mitchell Street, the Being that it is a corner lot in a Residence B zone, the requirement is 25 feet. We are asking for 18 feet to the closest point, and what makes it a little challenging here is that the house is, the property line is at an angle to the house, if you notice the plot plan. So we're asking for 18 feet to the structure itself and 17.4 feet to the open portico. The open portico is just that, it's 2 columns with a roof structure, no walls. The open portico would have been allowed a 6-foot encroachment. Even with the 6-foot encroachment, 17.4 doesn't come up to 19 feet, which would have been allowed. So we're shy on the portico, we're shy on the setback. Along Mitchell Place, the setback is 9.6 feet, where 25 is required. Now, that may seem substantial, however, that is the building wall of the house as it exists. Like to point out that our new construction is pretty much going straight up from the walls that already exist. The portico was moved further north to actually to where currently it's the front door is currently in the middle of the house, so moving it further north reduces the degree of variances. And then even in the back with the rear porch and the covered porch, it's going straight up from an existing rear porch that's there.
Mr. Katsubis, will your client agree to a condition that neither the front portico nor the open portion at the rear will be enclosed?
Yes, he will
Okay.
agree to that. We comply with lot coverage, we comply with height restrictions, all other setbacks comply. Those are the only variances that we need. Front yard in 2 directions and the variance for the air conditioner being where it's proposed to be located.
One more.
Mr. Kasubis, in front of the, what was a garage and is no longer a garage because it's not accessible, what is the pH?
A pool heater.
Yeah, but it's in line with it.
And the garage is being used as a, I guess, storage shed?
The garage is actually, it's being used as a garage. The driveway actually runs through the backyard, so there's gates, there are gates that open onto Mitchell Place. There is a permit for the garage, there is a permit for the pool.
So there's a curb cut on Mitchell Place?
There's a curb cut on Mitchell Place, and you can enter, the owner can open, I don't know if he uses it every day, but whenever needed, he can open the gates and pull a car into the garage.
Mrs. Adams showed me on Google Earth, and it verifies what you just said. Thank you.
There is just one other note. There is a shed on the property which does not have a permit. Cannot be legalized. The owner is well aware, and he's willing to remove it. Either during the construction or as soon as possible.
That's the shed on the north side?
Shed on the north side. It is labeled on the plot plan to be removed.
And when do you think it'll be removed?
He told me he could remove it today if needed. So.
I think he should remove it today because it really occupies that side yard, and if there's an emergency.
It also, just so you know, I was there. It blocks windows too, so it was there for a long time, and it doesn't. It's not part of his design. He doesn't want it, so he's willing to remove it.
Thank you.
Mr. Katsubis, on the plot plan, you show a proposed fireplace chimney on the, let's see, on the south side of the property?
Correct.
Is that, do you need a side yard variance for that?
No. To my understanding, chimneys are allowed to have a 2-foot encroachment into the side yard.
Becky?
The plan is showing that it's a direct vent and no chimney is to be installed, so therefore, the direct vent needs a variance for a side yard setback. correct. So there's no chimney being installed, so no permitted encroachment.
This, the plot plan shows as a proposed chimney,
Yeah,
The plan says direct vent.
not on that.
okay, so, I just spoke with counsel to the board, as to the notice issue, because, it is shown properly on the plans. They've been on file as they're supposed to be for 30 days. The AC units on the exact same side need side yard variance. So anyone who was in the notice area and got the notice about the AC units on that side and had an issue with it would have also known that, because the plans have been in file, would have also known that this was on the same side of the house. It's basically very, very similar to the AC units. So despite that the one-word chimney was not in the caption, the side yard for that side of the house was in fact in the caption and is before this board. So I will make a motion during our, yeah, okay. I'll make a motion deliberations to add the word chimney to the caption because everything else is there. But as council's just advised us, we don't have the number of the setback for that chimney provides, so we're gonna need you to get that properly. Well, here's the official, and you'll have to get that signed, sealed, and amended back to us.
I do not have the measurement, so
Okay,
it's
you'll
not
have-
on my plot plan. I
Mr.
don't
Consubis,
see it.
Mr. Consubis, you'll just have to figure that out with council of the board, and get that done.
Side yard for the AC units. Mhm. No, it's-
How about if it goes straight up instead of straight out? Yeah, this is not a Okay. Okay. Okay, understood, thank you. All right, so we'll go, I don't have to come back. All right, good. Yes, we'll do, all right.
Mr. Consubis,
Yes.
is the chimney, okay, is there a chimney there now?
Okay, there's no chimney there
Okay,
today.
is there going to be a chimney?
Okay, no
It's
chimney.
yes or no question?
No chimney.
Okay, what is going to be there?
It's gonna be a fireplace with a direct vent.
Okay,
Which
Miss,
is like a dryer vent out the side of the house.
Yes,
okay,
exactly.
Miss First, does that direct vent need a variance? Yes, okay, so we'll amend the caption to say vent, and you'll get the numbers here. Miss First will review it, and we'll make sure the documents are properly. Since it's all accurately depicted here, and you have asked for the side yard variance for the other structures in that side yard, so people were sufficiently seemingly on notice about it.
Okay,
Thank you.
I appreciate your
Thank you.
efforts in making this happen.
No, I get it.
Mr. Kitsubis, okay, so the side yard we'll be considering is likely gonna be the vent one if it is smaller than the AC, but we'll know that. And you already gave us, I just wanna make sure the front yard numbers are on the thing. 25 is required on both. One is 9.6, you're requesting, and the other one is either 18 or 17.4, depending on whether you go from the dwelling or the encroaching, the structure.
Correct. I don't want to commit to a number because there's not enough information on these plans, but.
Well, wait,
yes,
hold on. You don't want to commit to a number on what?
On this supposed chimney or
I
direct
know, but
vented
we're
cross.
past that. I was just, but those front yard numbers that I just put on the record are accurate, right? Okay,
Accurate
thank
as per the architect's plans,
Thank
yes.
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Kitsubis, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered. Aye.
Next, we have case 592 of 25, West Hempstead, Ileana and Barry Bazian, variances, lot area occupied, side yards aggregate, construct dwelling, demolish existing dwelling, also known as 680 Colonnade Road.
Good morning. My name is Barry Bazian. Live at 680 Colonnade Road in West Hempstead.
Good morning, Andrew Shear, 391 Garfield Avenue, West Hempstead, New York, 11552. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I am here for my client we're proposing a new house. The house requires two variances, one for lot area occupied, which in the Residence B zone is 27.5%. The proposed lot area occupied with the porch is 33.2, and without the porch is 30.2%. 30.2%. And we have no intention of ever enclosing it, so we would not do that. Yes.
How high off the ground is the deck of the porch?
It's less than 2 feet, less than 2 feet.
Oh, so that would mean we're still working with 27 and a half, right, Ben?
Well, it's a covered porch, so.
Okay.
The second variance is side yard aggregate. The side yard aggregate required, it's a little odd-shaped property because it starts at 70 feet in the front and it goes to 61.16 in the rear. So the side yard aggregate at the lot line where the front of the house is 68 feet 5 inches, and the required required aggregate would be 17 feet 1 inch at that point. And we have 16 foot 6 inches, so we are 7 inches deficient in that area. So we're only asking for that as a result of the odd-shaped property.
So you're requiring a 17.1 and your
16.6.
is, because you kept saying at that point and at that point.
Right,
But you're telling me your side yard aggregate is 16.6?
And, right.
Not just at one point because?
No, it's the smallest part is 16.6. It's
Great.
actually larger in the front. It's about 20 foot 3 inches. So-
Thank you.
Anything else you'd like to add, Mr. Shear?
That is all.
Any other questions from the board? Not
Move the
to-
hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Shear, you and your client will be notified by mail
Thank
of
you
the
very
board's
much.
decision once it's rendered.
All in favor? Any opposed? All right.
Next, we have case 593 of 25, Roosevelt, Rupert A. and Sonia Backus. Variance, lot area occupied, maintained shed, also known as 133 West Greenwich Avenue.
Mr. Dickey.
Diana Laspisa with Morano Expediting Services, P.O. Box 39, Bethpage, New York, 11714. Here on behalf of the property owners, Sonia and Rupert Backus. Good morning, Chairman, members of the board.
Morning.
We are here before you today requesting permission to maintain an existing detached shed. It's 8 foot by 10 foot. It does meet the required setbacks. However, we are slightly over on the lot coverage. The property is zoned Residence A, and the maximum allowed lot coverage is 25%, and we are seeking to maintain 25.6% for the shed. The shed has been existing for a few years. It's used strictly for storage. It's pretty, actually, screened from the neighboring parcels as well. And this came up at the time when the homeowner had made another application with the building department to file for a sunroom addition that they no longer decided to proceed with, but they wanted to get the property in order.
Anything else you'd like to add? If not, any questions from the board?
Never happened.
Just as a comment, this is Residence A because it's very near the parkway. And properties adjacent to the parkway are Residence A most of the time. If this were a B
Oh,
zone.
I never knew that.
If this were a B zone, which is away from the parkway, you'd,
We wouldn't be here,
correct,
and the shed could be larger.
yes. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, you too.
Mr. Chairman, I would just move then that the hearing be closed, that the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Ms. Lespecia and Mr. and Mrs. Bacchus, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered. Thank you.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Next, we have cases 594 of 25 through 595 of 25, Franklin Square. Michael Santangelo, variances, lot area occupied, side yard, maintain roof over open porch, and AC unit both attached to dwelling, maintain pool equipment not permitted in side yard and with less than required side yard setbacks, also known as 319 Commonwealth Street.
Is there someone who didn't sign in? We only have Michael St. Angelo.
I didn't sign in.
Would you like to sign in?
Sorry.
It's something new that we started.
I'll assume he's in favor. Yeah.
Mike Santangelo, 319 Commonwealth Street, Franklin Square, New York.
Morning.
Leo Brzezinski, PYZYNSKI, architect, 100 Clinton Avenue, Mineola, New York.
A lot of people are putting second stories. These are all other tapes. They blew them up and they can mansion. Yeah, that's why I like it.
Sorry.
Okay. Let's see, where's my sign-in sheet? Okay. Mr. Santangelo and you, sir, I apologize, I can't read your writing.
I know, Brzezinski, architect.
P
Y
C Y
NSKI.
N S K I. Okay. Mr.
Sorry about
Kaczynski, I take it you're presenting the case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead and tell us what we need to know.
So basically, we're here for two variances, one for lot coverage due to the front porch, and for the pool and air conditioning equipment in the side yard. The original plan was to build just a portico, and then add the porch after the fact. They knew ZBA approval would be required, so that's what we discussed with the contractor. Unfortunately, he built it with the porch included. The framing, during the framing inspection, the inspector realized this, contacted the building department. Building department asked us to provide a letter saying that we understand that if the variance is disapproved, we would have to remove the porch, Mrs. Santangelo. The CAC units are supposed to be on the back of the house, as well as the pool equipment. The pool equipment was shown 4 feet off the side property line in the rear yard, and the pool pool installer and the AC installers decided to move it into the side yard. Contractor completed the porch, and we have a lot coverage variance for that.
I'm sorry, what, your residence B zone?
Yes.
Allowed 27.5%. What are you proposing?
The proposed and existing is 1797.
No, percentage-wise.
Percentage-wise, we're at 30.
30 even?
No, higher. Sorry. 31.4.
31.4. If the board were to approve the roofed-over porch, maintaining that roofed-over porch, would your client agree to a condition, a permanent condition, that it not ever be further enclosed in the future?
Yes.
Okay. And then side yard, what's your required side yard and what are you proposing?
5 for everything, and we have 4, and then unfortunately, one of the last split system unit is fairly close to the property, and
What is
we only
that?
have 1.5 for that split unit, but we have a letter of support from the adjacent property. That split system unit is only a 53 decibel unit, which is just like regular conversation. We'd like to submit the letter of support, please.
Okay, hold on. Who got the neighbor to sign the letter? Okay, you took that over, you showed him the plans? Or what'd you tell him or show him?
The units have been installed for about a year now.
Oh, that's right, I
So
apologize.
I just asked if he had a problem with it and if he could help us,
Okay,
with
and you saw him sign it, and that is in fact his signature. We'll accept that into evidence.
What would be the hardship if you were to move that unit? It really encumbers the entire side yard. Emergency vehicles, people cannot get to the backyard on that side.
Agreed.
That's an issue.
I was really surprised and disappointed that both the porch was built and these units were installed this way. Relocating it would be a significant cost because of the electrical connections and the concrete slab.
They could put it on top of the other one.
That's a possibility, yes. But there is a significant cost with doing that, and so
The unit that's the 1 foot, 1.5 feet setback could be hung on top of the other unit, and the electric would not have to be altered other than maybe a connection.
yeah, I'm not
I mean-
familiar with that, so it would be up to Mr. Santangelo to get estimates and decide one way or the other.
I'm sorry, you said it was a 53 decibel? That's what it puts
53
out?
decibel unit, yes. It's a split system that goes on occasionally when it's used in the cellar. But I understand it is
Oh,
blocked.
it's one of those ductless?
Yes. With
Does-
the fence that's there due to the pool, we don't really see emergency equipment using that side.
The fence is on a gate, isn't it?
The other side is
The other side's a gate.
Is that your case, sir?
pretty much. I just wanted to say that, there's no real detriment. It is unfortunate that they installed it there. A lot of the contractors these days just seem to be doing whatever they like, and unfortunately, inspectors aren't available to really suggest that they have to change that.
That's on you, the
Not on
inspectors,
me. I
don't.
don't inspect anything.
No. It's for you, the applicant, to call for inspections from the buildings department. It's not,
Contractor calls for inspections. I don't call for
okay, it's,
But regardless, they shouldn't have gone there. I agree with you 100%. And it's just disappointing that this happens pretty often on my
I
property.
know, Mark. Okay,
Becky, is a gate required on that side?
To me, it's a self-imposed hardship,
Yeah.
while he was putting forget about the porch, but the pool equipment, that should have been in the back. That's like, to me, if you have to move the electrical line, then you should move the electrical line. I agree with Mr. Pellegrino.
Understood. I agree 100% with you. Agreed.
Okay, is that your case, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Are there any other questions from the board?
For identification purposes, what should we call that unit that's the 1.5-foot encroachment?
Split system AC or split AC.
Well, there's two of them there. How do you want to identify this particular one?
Is the other one a split or
We call it, yes, but the other ones conform, they have 5-foot side yards. You can call it basement split.
Okay.
So in terms of that, one last thing, so in terms of that equipment in the side yard, that one needs relief at 1.5, and I think one other, I don't have the papers now, I think one other needed half a foot of relief, is that right?
The pool equipment units have 4-foot setback.
So the ones you're here for us is the 4.5, the 4.0, and the 1.5. The other three don't need side yard relief, but need relief for being in the side yard. I got it. Okay. Are there any other questions from the board? If not, is there a motion?
I move the hearing be closed, the case placed on the decision calendar. When the board renders its decision, you will be notified.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Next, we have cases 596 of 25 through 597 of 25, Point Lookout, Richard and Laura Ann Brown. Variances, lot area occupied, average front yard setback, side yard, rear yard, construct addition, second-story additions, and raised platform with roof over, all attached to dwelling. Variances, lot area occupied, maintain enclosed cellar entrance attached to dwelling, also known as 88 Belmore Avenue. Ms. Pangallo, you're sworn in from before. Please state your name and address for the record.
Thank you. Tina Pangallo, 549 Hempstead Turnpike, West Hempstead, New York, 11552. I'm representing Richard and Laura Brown of 88 Belmore Avenue, Point Lookout. The property is located on the east side of Belmore Avenue, 200 feet north of Beach Street in Residence B. We're requesting a variance to construct a one-story addition and a second story over an existing one-story addition, a raised platform with roof over, all attached to the dwelling, and to maintain the enclosure of a cellar entrance. The original house was built in 1960 and was granted a variance under case 715 for front and rear yard setbacks to construct one-family dwelling, stoop, and eve encroachments. Sure. Okay. Okay, let's see. The one-story addition, second story over the existing one-story and raised platform with roof over violates the average front yard setback allowed of 5.79, where the proposed setback will be 5.3.
5.79, you're talking side yards?
Front yard, average
Okay.
front yard.
Okay.
1.79, and you're proposing what?
5.3 to the house and 1.3 to the dwelling. So there's no change from the previous,
To the house and to the dwelling?
I'm sorry, to the platform, I'm sorry, the platform. It's 1.3 to the platform and 5.3 to the house.
And
So there's,
is anything in between that, in other words, other than the 1.3 platform, is everything else maintains at least a 5.3? You said that's to the house, but I don't know if there's any other intrusions.
yes, that's correct. That's the only thing. And that is also, the original platform was granted under when the original house was built, that variance. So we're taking down that and putting up a new one. So there's no change from our original variance for the front yard.
Wait, so, and you're putting the new platform exactly where the old one was?
Correct.
And you already have a variance for that, but you need relief from us?
Yes.
I'm surprised. I thought if you were replacing it exactly, Becky, even though they're replacing exactly the thing that they already have a variance for, they have to come to us for another one? I'm surprised. Same location, same size?
Let me see if it's exactly the same size. I know it's the same setback, but, let's
Oh,
see.
maybe that's different size.
Wood platform to be removed and replaced with square feet. Well, I think there's a roof over it, a little, so I
And
guess
there
maybe
wasn't.
that's why.
Okay, so you do need relief variance.
This doesn't show, oh, it does.
Okay, so the house is 5.3 on the front yard, and 1.0, okay. Keep going, Ms. Pinkello.
Where am I?
Lot area occupied, side yard.
The side yard setback required for a lot width of 70 feet is 5.8. Our proposed side yard will be 5.7 to the overhang and 7.8 to the dwelling.
That overhang is quite substantial. That's 5-something from the property line?
Yes.
Pinkello, if we were to approve that, would your client accept the condition it never be enclosed in any way further?
Yes.
Show that to Becky, please.
Hold on.
Let's see. The rear yard, as per section 72, rear yard property with less than 100 feet in depth requires a 15-foot rear yard setback. The setback proposed will be 12.3. The lot coverage allowed is 27.5, and the lot coverage provided is 41.5%. We're also requesting a variance to maintain a greenhouse that was converted to a kitchen and the enclosure of a cellar entrance. The cellar entrance was built with the original house.
Hold on, Ms. Pinkello. I'm not sure I'm seeing that. What I have in terms of maintain is enclosed cellar entrance attached to dwelling. What you said, you have a greenhouse?
No, the greenhouse was converted to living space. That's a maintain. That's in the back, that rear.
Is it possible that it's attached to the dwelling?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah,
maybe...
yes, the greenhouse was attached to the dwelling. It's now a kitchen.
Okay, hold on. So is the greenhouse what I have on here? Okay, let me tell you, I have construct. I don't have it. The only maintain I think I have is the cellar entrance, okay? Then we have your, where is that? Construct addition. Okay, that's not the greenhouse. So that's a one-story construct addition. That's not your greenhouse. Do you have is there a one-story construct addition?
Yes, it's this little piece behind the existing basement entrance.
I see it.
That little tiny piece.
So that's your construct addition.
Correct.
You also have second-story additions.
Right.
Those are entirely within the footprint of the existing structure, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then you have construct your raised platform
Right.
with roof over, all attached to dwelling.
Right.
Then the only maintain I have is the cellar entrance.
Okay, where it says proposed second floor over existing solar greenhouse converted to kitchen, that would be the maintain.
Say that again?
Where it says on the plot plan,
No, I'm saying, okay. The caption of the hearing of what is before us.
right.
Exactly what she said, because
Where is that? I see what you're saying. It's not on the caption. Well, is the reason why it's not on the caption is the only thing, part of that permit is the lot coverage for that piece behind the basement entrance? So the conversion... That's what I'm saying, right. Does that make sense?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
That squared off section that says enclosed basement entrance.
Yes, that's the only change in the footprint, is
Okay,
that,
that's the change in the footprint.
right.
That is a lot coverage need, and that is what used to be a greenhouse, or no?
And that is what, I'm sorry?
And that's what used to be the greenhouse.
No, the greenhouse used to be this back portion here, where it's now a kitchen. Let me see if I,
Yeah, the printing on my thing is, I think it's here proposed.
just looking to see if I have plans for
I
the
see it.
greenhouse.
What are we gonna do?
Okay. I have the plot plan for the maintain that shows maybe that would explain it better.
I have a question.
Yes.
What's in the basement?
The basement right now is finished. It's going to be completely ripped out during the construction because they are not allowed to have a finished basement.
So in other words, the basement's got it's illegally finished, and it's got an entrance that's not there, that you put in without a permit, right?
The homeowners purchased, this year, the homeowners purchased the house with all of this existing in 2022. They didn't do anything. The basement was finished when they purchased it.
So why are you before us then? You trying to legalize it, or because you're trying to build something and they picked it up?
No, they're going to rip it out. They're ripping out the finished.
So let me get it straight. So there's a finished basement that shouldn't be there.
Correct.
There's a rear entrance to the basement that shouldn't be there.
No, that was part of the original house, the
Oh,
cellar entrance.
so that's legal.
Yes.
And there's a greenhouse that you had a permit for, but you converted it into a kitchen?
It was converted to a kitchen when
Who
they
did
purchased
that?
the home.
Who did that?
The previous owners.
Oh, so in other words, all this was there when you got there?
Correct,
Okay.
right. They bought it in 2022. They now want to
just
fix
trying
it
to
up. Yeah,
get-
they
Ms. Pangello, what we're trying to figure out is, we understand all the pieces of what you have before us, and we're looking at what is there, what is there and what was there. But our calendar doesn't contain relief for that piece in the way, at least, that we're speaking about it. So all I want to do is find out if the building department either said you don't need relief for that, or said you need relief for it, but we're calling it in a different way, and to make sure everything's covered. Do you
Sure.
understand? So, Becky, would you come here for? Okay, Ms. Pangallo.
Yes.
According to Ms. First, who is an expert of experts, you don't need relief from us for that greenhouse kitchen. That's why it's not on our calendar, because of previous grants, et cetera, and previous variances, and also things that were already part of the original construction of the house, in a nutshell. Okay, so while it is on all your stuff, we don't actually have to grant you relief to maintain the greenhouse/kitchen. Okay, So we'll just
Thank you.
address your other relief.
Okay,
And
I
didn't-
understand.
I didn't write down the lot coverage numbers, if you wouldn't mind giving us those.
So 27.5 is allowed, and the lot coverage provided is 41.5. This percent of lot coverage is not unusual for Point Lookout. There have been cases, 1378/24, that was granted at 50.3 to maintain a dwelling on a lesser lot. Another one, 439/24, which was granted at 67% lot coverage. So we are respectfully asking the board to grant these variances.
And I already asked you about not enclosing but how long has that cellar entrance been enclosed?
They purchased the house in 2022, and everything was existing.
Have you been to the house?
Yes.
Been in the basement?
Yes.
I know my colleague here asked about the basement. I didn't hear the full answer.
They're going to rip out all the finish. It was finished when they purchased the house, but they're removing everything, and it'll remain an unfinished basement.
Yeah, they're in a flood zone, yeah.
Right, so they have to have an unfinished basement.
And any complaints from the neighbors as to that cellar entrance?
No,
What is the
which was
overall,
built with the original house.
the overall height of the building from the crown of the road?
Uh, 27 feet, 6 inches.
That's from the DFE.
To ridge 27.5 above BFE.
Right.
I assume, Ms. Mangallo, if we were to approve the enclosure finish to the cellar entrance, that your client would agree to a condition that as you described, the finished nature of the basement would be removed and it would be maintained as an unfinished space.
Yes.
Used, whatever, only for storage or
Yes.
something of that sort. Okay. Move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Ms. Bangallo, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Thank you very much. Have a
Thank you.
nice day.
Aye.
Next, we have case 598 of 25, Elmont.
Hold on, if you have to answer it. Hold on. Entrance. Mr. Chairman, I will withdraw my motion. Go ahead.
Is there an entrance to the cellar from inside the house?
What they're doing is they're removing the stairs. There's now an entrance, yes, there's stairs in the middle of the basement. So what they're doing is they're removing those stairs, and now from the kitchen, you'll go down into the basement as an interior. So the outside entrance really is now going to be going from your kitchen down into the basement. It's
Right, so you'll be able to go from outside, come in, go to the basement, or go in the kitchen, and from the kitchen, without going outside, you'll be able to go down to the basement.
exactly.
Okay. Any other questions? No? Mr. Chairman, I would move again that that the matter be closed, that it be placed on the decision calendar. And Aye.
Thank you.
Next, we have case 598 of 25, Elmont Nazir Khan and Tricia Ramsing. Variances, front yard average setback, side yards aggregate, construct second-story addition, second-story additions partially open below and portico all attached to dwelling, also known as 720 Cathy Court.
Tim Jordan, 74 Cherry Lane, Smithtown, New York, 11787.
Is that your case, what you did?
Good morning. I have a folder with multiple letters in favor of the application. The list of names, the ones that have been obtained are highlighted on it. Basically, all of the entire Cathy Court has submitted, as well as 2 from Martha Street.
We'll accept those in evidence. We also, for the record, you also have 2 letters, one in opposition and one in favor. Counsel, would you like to show the letter in opposition to the applicant so that he may be able to reflect and comment upon it? Set plans.
Okay, I've read the letter, the email from the neighbor who's in opposition.
Right.
I'd like to point out, before I get started, that the views that he is concerned about, we are within our height, and the area in which he is opposing, I'm assuming is the second floor, which basically is the entire design, and within the lot coverage of this house, the areas that he is visibly going to be seeing is not triggering any variances.
1 second. You have a second-story request and a 2-story request. So there's some portion that's outside the footprint. So when you say second floor, I just want you to clarify.
Correct.
So the
To the
portion.
rear.
Okay, so on your site plan, there are different styles of hash marks. So the larger hashing, is that the proposed second story?
So you have over the existing footprint, which is the second story.
Right, is that the part that's reflected on your site plan with the larger crisscross hashing?
Yes, so,
Okay,
right, and then you have a dotted line closer to the pool area. That is a second floor open to patio.
so the 10 by 29.3?
Correct.
Okay, so that proposal right there is the portion that's the second story
Correct.
deck. Is it some kind of deck, I guess?
No, it is an addition.
I'm sorry, say that again?
It's a second floor addition.
And-
Bedrooms are over there.
And how much of it is open underneath?
Exactly what you're seeing, the 10 by 29 is patio underneath.
Okay, and just since we're on this, if we were to approve this, would your client agree to there being no further enclosure of the portion below it in the future?
1 second, they are here with me. They are okay with that.
Okay, so that's the second story addition that has the open below. The large hatch marks are the second story addition that are within the footprint.
Correct.
And the small hash marks, is that the,
That's the two-story.
that's the two-story, kind of squaring it off?
Squaring it off.
And then the portion that looks like an interior garage with slashes but not crisscross?
Right.
What is that? Is that
That
just
is-
remaining a one-story or,
That is remaining a garage.
and a
that-
single story?
Yes. Oh, no, there's a second story going across that. That's part of the one story. But the
Oh,
second
so that
story-
should have,
the
that really
second-
should have the big hash marks?
Well, it's basically just describing what's underneath there, that there is an existing garage already there. But yes, the second floor is going over that portion.
Okay, so other than the very small hash marks in the front, the second story is going over everything in the footprint?
Yes.
They have small two-story addition, which is in that front, and then we got the rest. Now, The portion that you believe the neighbor was complaining about
Correct.
is which of those portions?
So the portion that is with simply the dotted lines, the 10 by 29 second
Got
floor
it.
addition.
Second story with nothing below?
With open space below it.
That's what you believe the complaint was about?
That's what I think, because that's the only thing I could see that's going to encroach. If we didn't have that, we're still just putting a second floor on an existing footprint. I did.
My name is Nazir Khan, 720 Cathy Court. Nazir Khan, 720 Cathy Court. I'm on New York, 11003. 003. So for the opposed letter that that was sent in from the neighbor, I went to the house last night and I seen it was sent in 5 minutes after.
You went to his,
Yeah, to get the letter signed because I have all my neighbors' approval, and they're the neighbors that really disturb the neighborhood because they have like bonfires and music every
Okay.
weekend. So
what do you want to tell us about his complaint that this is somehow blocking something?
it's no way. The house is probably about 50 feet. The house is probably like 50 feet away from her backyard.
Yeah,
100 feet to her house.
We're looking at
basically.
the
So, yeah,
Google
it's-
Earth.
I apologize.
It's a pretty big distance.
Well, and we're looking at the Google Earth the chairman has just pointed out. Given the juxtaposition of the structures, it's hard to even imagine that this neighbor could actually see that section in the back of your house.
All right. It speaks for itself.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's this one.
Why don't we try the one at the podium, is that maybe it? Wait,
It's this one.
it's Becky. It was like white noises, it could put me to sleep.
Yeah.
You on? Check, check. Yep.
Okay.
I'd like to request piano man.
Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Each of you who have signed in will receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it is rendered. Thank you.
Second.
Have a nice day.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Well, Stephanie? Yeah.
All right. 10-minute break.
We'll be back in 10 minutes so the court reporter can rest her hands. Get her blood flow back.
We don't have anything until 11 o'clock.
Next, we have cases 599 of 25 through 601 of 25, Uniondale, Leslie Tiss, variances, lot area occupied, side yards aggregate, construct addition, natatorium, pool enclosure, attached to dwelling. Variances, lot area occupied, side yards aggregate, maintain deck and pool with a 4-foot-high and proper pool enclosure, 5-foot-high enclosure required. Maintain 4-foot-high fence forward of the dwelling, which may substantially obstruct line of sight, also known as 1324 Pembroke Street. Mr. Katsubis, you are sworn in from before, but ma'am, please.
Leslie Teese, 1324 Pembroke Street, Uniondale, New York, 11553.
Good morning, once again, members of the board. Okay, I'm sorry, yes, my name is Dean Katsubis. My address is 121 Newbridge Road, Hicksville, New York, 11801. We are here today for the second hearing, as the first hearing was dismissed without prejudice. After receiving this decision, we further looked into the situation and...
Mr. Katsubis, just finish the sentence so we have it on the record. The prior one was dismissed without prejudice because, say why, give it one sentence.
Okay, so the prior variance was dismissed without prejudice because it was determined that there was an expired variance from 1978 or 1976 on this property.
That might have been applicable.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So is this case the case that was dismissed, is this the same identical application?
It's the identical application with taking into account certain revisions that this board had asked for at the last hearing, which had to do
Okay.
and I'll describe, I definitely have a description of the changes and what we did to rectify the reason why it was dismissed.
Okay, thank you.
So, looking into the situation, there was an expired variance for the studio, which was in the backyard. This is a separate structure, it's a garage and a studio. It was there forever. In 1976, the owner at the time, which I believe was a judge and some kind of politician, he did file a variance to keep it as a garage and a studio. For some reason, it got denied, or it was an apartment. The apartment part got denied in 1976. He went back in 1978. He got it approved. Got a variance to approve it as a studio only with no living quarters. That remained not an apartment, a studio
And a garage.
Together.
Is it 2 stories or 1?
It's like
2 stories.
The studio would be like an art studio?
Yeah, like a painting studio.
Okay.
Studio above a garage.
No, not above, it's a side,
side by side with a loft.
and then it goes up like a barn.
So, in the time being, we were here last year, October 9th of last year, we were here presenting this case. Since then, they filed a permit to legalize this studio. We had all the inspections, architects, plumbers, electricians, building inspections, and we were able to get the certificate of completion for this structure.
Wait, so it was a temporary grant, the prior approval of the studio and garage?
No, it was not a temporary grant. It was an approved variance that never became a permit and never became anything.
Oh, they got the variance and never legalized it, never got the permit?
Never got a permit, back in the 70s. So she had purchased the house. This was like this all those years. We assumed it was legal. After last year, we made the effort to make it legal, and now it is legal. Now it does have a certificate of completion.
But it did not need a variance.
In the 1970s, it needed a variance, which was approved then.
Okay.
Today we're not asking for any variance for it.
But
Okay.
you have a certificate of occupancy or completion for this?
Yes.
Okay.
So it kind of like bypassed, or that variance that was granted came in force to today to allow this studio.
You don't need anything on the studio from us.
No.
It's a good way of putting it.
Can I just ask one question? It looks like attached to the studio, there's something that says PLATP, period. I think it means platform. What is that, and is that before us, or was that part of the approval of the studio?
That's like a stoop. You know, it's just like
Okay,
a
does
power-
it need any address, does it need to be addressed by us?
No.
It's part of your permit? Okay,
It's
good.
flat on grade, it's a.
Okay,
one
good.
step up.
Go ahead with what is.
Yes. Okay, so, in addition, since the first hearing, we made some revisions to the plans. One of the concerns was that there was exterior doors leading from the auditorium to the rear yard.
Wait, I'm sorry. Were those plans looked at by the building department and are they in our file?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, we have updated plans which have no exterior doors leading from the natatorium to the rear yard. The only exterior doors lead from the natatorium to the existing deck, and we also furthermore took the recommendation and fenced in the existing deck. So therefore, even if the doors are left open on the natatorium, access to it would be from the deck and from the house, and the deck would be completely fenced in with proper pool required enclosure
Well,
fences.
not really, right? Because you were asking for a 4-foot.
Okay, so the 4-foot fence is separate from, the 4-foot fence is in the front of the dwelling. It's near the street, I want to say sidewalk, but the sidewalk actually ends there. So we're asking for, separate from the natatorium application and the deck application, we're asking for a 4-foot fence. That 4-foot fence is a solid 4-foot fence, which is normally not permitted in that area. We're requesting permission to keep it for various reasons. Those reasons include, there are bushes on both sides of the fence. Both my client and the neighbor has bushes, so even if the fence wasn't there, you still wouldn't be able to see through it anyway. The sidewalk ends there, so there's no sidewalk continuing in front of my client's house. There's no driveway near this 4-foot fence, and this is also the last house on the block. So there would be limited or very, very limited traffic, both vehicular and pedestrian traffic in this location, being at the last house, no sidewalk, no driveway near this fence, and even if the fence wasn't there, the bushes on both sides would still be there. So that's the variance on the fence that we're asking for.
But Mr. Katsubis, you also asking for a variance to maintain the deck and the pool with a 4-foot high improper pool enclosure, because of course 5 is what's required. That was the one I was talking about.
Okay, all right, so to further clarify on that, once, if this variance for the natatorium is granted, we will no longer need a pool enclosure fence, because the room itself is the pool enclosure. The pool will be completely indoors. So we're not asking for, we're not looking to have a non-compliant pool.
Okay, you're arguing that in the alternative. Ms. First, can you enlighten us about this natatorium and whether or not that does alleviate the requirement for a 5-foot enclosure?
The natatorium is a permanent structure and is permitted as a pool enclosure, safety pool enclosure, as per the code.
So if we were to grant this natatorium as it is currently proposed, we would not be granting the they don't need the variance for the 4-foot pool enclosure because the natatorium.
They will only need a variance for the solid fencing forward of the dwelling.
And not the other
And not the
4-foot.
other fencing on the property.
If we grant the thank you. Keep going, Mr. Katsuba.
Okay. So then the other variances we're asking for, all relative to the natatorium and the deck. We're asking for lot coverage of 42% where the requirement, 42.35% where the requirement is 27.5%.
How much of that is the deck and natatorium?
The natatorium itself is square feet.
Percentage.
Okay, 11.05%. So that room will be year-round, it will provide year-round heated, pool heated space for the pool.
Right, how much is the decking? I know the decking is under the natatorium, I think, but is there additional decking outside of the natatorium? And if
Yes.
so, what percentage of the lot coverage is it?
So the decking outside of outside of the natatorium is 376 square feet. I do not have the percentage.
Mr. Gitsubis, you've been coming here the entire time I've been here, and you know we always deal in percentages.
I mean, I have the total percentages. The existing total is 31.3%, and the increase is 11.05. That totals the 40.
Well, that means there's no additional decking, because if it's 31.3 now, you just told us the natatorium is 11.05% of the lot coverage,
Yes.
right? And the total lot coverage is 42.
Yes.
So it sounds like there's no additional percentage of the lot coverage that is decking. So we'll just break it down that way. 11.05 natatorium, house then is at 31.3. That's the house, right?
No,
House and the
that's-
studio.
Okay, the main dwelling, the covered porch, the cantilevers, the rear deck, the garage, and the platform are a total of 31.3%.
Wait, when you're giving us this lot coverage, included in that number, right, is the studio also, right?
Yes.
So everything on that land, that's her piece of property, added all together, the percentage of coverage that it comes out to is 42.35, and 11% of that coverage is that natatorium.
Correct.
Okay, that's all I need.
We are also asking for side yard aggregate to the natatorium. We're asking for 13.9 feet aggregate, where the requirement is 25.2 feet.
What zone are you in?
We're in a Residence B zone.
Oh, but you have a wider
Second-
property width?
Second story, yeah.
Go ahead, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Kitson.
And we are also, we're also asking for a side yard on the deck. The deck the deck is 0.7 feet from the property line, and the natatorium is 13.24 feet from the property
So
line.
there is decking that's not covered by the deck.
Right.
Miss First, can I ask you a question?
It's-
You know what I'm asking, right?
It's a two-story deck.
Okay, there is a second-story deck, but the second-story deck has a permit, has a CO. It was built with it was built with an addition to the house at some point.
So now you're asking,
It's the ground, it's the first floor deck that we're trying to
and that's
utilize.
directly underneath the second-story deck.
A portion of it is, a portion of the second-story deck covers this. The second-story deck is much smaller than this first-story deck.
But it's not distinguished on here. I guess it doesn't matter because its second-story deck is already approved.
It's approved, it's a very small, it's a very small second-story deck.
Comes out of a bedroom, that's all. It's just a
Yeah,
small-
no, you live there, obviously, and you can,
It's been there, I'm in my house over 30 years, and everything's been there except the extension on my house.
have you seen the plot plan that he put, that's very nice, okay, now I get it. The plot plan that he put together for us to look at. It's like- There's a lot going on here.
Yeah. Oh, not really.
Mr. Regano just showed me a picture that was submitted. Now I get it. Thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Kitsubis, I had Ms. First look at, because when you gave us the side yard setback numbers, it was evident that there's a portion of the deck that is not covered by the natatorium. So she recalculated, and using the total coverage that you gave us correctly, which is 42.35%, that's everything on the property. Then the natatorium, according to Ms. First's calculation, comprises 10.979, so we'll call it 10.98% of the the coverage. And then the portion of portion of coverage that isn't under the natatorium and is decking, which matters to us, is 4.97% of the property. So the reason that matters is because when you're looking at lot coverage, you know, a deck is a lot different an animal than a structure. So we often ask applicants that if we were to approve this, would your client, and I'm asking you, agree that that 4.97% of decking, which is currently just decking, it doesn't have a natatorium over it or whatever else, you would not further,
I would like to replace it because it's old now.
okay, but it would not be further enclosed in any way?
No way.
You would agree to that condition? Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Keep going. Go ahead.
And also you requested last time you were here.
Microphone. Microphone.
Last time I was here, you requested that I put 5-foot fences, or at least on one side of the front of my house, because of the pool. I put the 5-foot fence on both sides.
Thank you.
I
But
didn't-
we addressed that with Ms. First earlier. If we approve this natatorium, it's a permanent structure, and it will serve as the pool enclosure, but thank you for doing that.
You requested it, so I did it.
Okay, but so we won't even have to, you'll be okay in that regard anyway, but thank you.
Yes, there was further discussion regarding the fences at the last hearing. There was concern about the possibility of leaving the doors open to the natatorium, and that's why we made the effort to enclose the whole deck area with fence. So the only doors from this natatorium will lead to the deck area, not to the yard. So even if the doors are left open, there will still be the barrier of having a fence.
Please note that the state code requires that those doors have alarms on them, so if they are left open, it's going to be a very loud annoyance.
Okay.
Yeah, I can know.
Yes, I had those alarms when they first came out of my pool. Every time a bird flew by, they would scream. We made some changes.
Any other questions from the board? If not,
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on decision calendar. Mr. Katsubis, you and your client will be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's ready.
Thank you.
Thank you.
all in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have case 46725, West Hempstead, Christopher B. Glaudino, renewal of grant to maintain two-family dwelling, also known as 447 Birch Street. Next, we have case 52025, Merrick Jane Mazzelli, variances lot area occupied, front yard setback on Madison Street, construct one-story addition attached to dwelling, remove one-story portion of dwelling and steps, also known as 144 Stuyvesant Avenue.
Lorenzo Clayton. It's a P.O. Box, 24 Westbury, New York, expedited for applicant. Oh, she's already making a hit. Expedited for the homeowner, Jane Manzel.
Jane Metzel, 144 Stuyvesant Avenue, Merrick, New York, 11566.
Good morning. When you guys are ready, I will proceed. I want to thank the board for its time this morning. We think it's a very simple application. The family is growing, and they need to accommodate that growth of family. And or about COVID of 2020, Ms. Metzel's son moved into the home with her. And since that time, little Janice was born, and they're expecting to add even to their family. So they expect to have 2 children. They're also going to have the mother-in-law of the son come periodically from Thailand to visit and stay with them to, help with babysitting duties as well, stay connected to the family. We are seeking a variance because we have lot coverage deficit and we have a side yard deficit. And that's because, it's a corner parcel, so there are 2 front yards. The secondary front yard, there is...
It's actually considered a front yard here, even though it is your side yard, so just so we keep it straight on the record.
Okay.
It's a front yard.
Got it, got it.
We
So-
understand what you're saying.
Yeah, so the topography just kind of lends itself to that. We do have consents of the neighbors. I brought additional copies. I did send them yesterday. And specifically, our deficits are, it's an undersized lot, and the house was there obviously when she brought it in 2012 in that condition. Those lots are generally 6,000 square feet, ours is 5,000. It currently has 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. We're seeking to add an additional bedroom and 1.5 baths. The lot coverage max is 27.5. We currently have 23.68, and we're looking to increase that to 28.68.
Correct, okay.
Correct.
Very de minimis.
Okay.
As you said about your nothing case.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
As you said, it's not a bit of a nothing case because it's such a de minimis act.
Correct, correct. The setback for the front yard, the primary front yard, I'll call it, because there are 2 front yards. The setback is 20.25, and it should be 25. And the secondary front yard, it's 17.4. So we have 2 deficits there. Everything else we're good with. We're good with the rear yard. We're good with the height. We're good with the rear yard height, and that's it. Everything else conforms. So that's essentially why we're here to just hope that the court understands that as the family has grown, we're not asking to build a McMansion. We simply want to make an accommodation that will allow them to enjoy the comfort of their home without any adverse impact on the neighbors in the community. And with that, we'll take questions if you have any.
Any questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. I'm going to try this. Mr. Jen-Pen Van Kool?
No, Lorenzo Clayton.
Okay,
That's
Mr.
okay.
Lorenzo Clayton.
That's okay. Call
Are
me
you signed
anything
in?
but late for dinner.
You're actually not signed in.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Okay. Wait a minute. We do have 3 people. Oh, okay.
That is my daughter-in-law.
Okay, got it. Okay, so we'll have you sign in. Anyway, all of you who signed in will receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's rendered. Thank you. Aye. You got it. I knew the other 2 names went together because they were the same last name, husband and wife, so. I know she was going to this earlier. I mean, look at that little pony sticking out.
Her hair kicks into the west side because he has a cold, and so he's a
14 months is such a cool. Bye-bye.
We're second calling case 46725, West Hempstead, Christopher B. Glaudino, renewal of grant to maintain two-family dwelling, also known as 447 Birch Street.
We had previously issued an order to appear. No one has appeared, so I would like someone to make a motion, possibly to dismiss the case. How's that for subtlety? Is that subtle?
What is the impact that the building department would have to knock on a door and issue a summons or something to that effect?
Once this renewal gets dismissed and they did not appear, it goes back to our code enforcement, who will go knock on the door again, and then try to
Give them a
get...
summons or just a notice of potential violation or what?
Well, we're going to, obviously, this person does not live in this two-family, I'm assuming, so...
Well, they're supposed to.
Well, obviously, they're not showing up, so whatever's necessary for us to issue a summons. So if it turns out they're not there and we can't get them, we'll do a mail and nail and
Okay.
see what happens.
Okay, but that would be like, oh, no, no.
But one other thing to keep in mind, it expired 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
a
God.
reassessment on the merits, I think, is appropriate.
No.
15 years ago.
The chairman wants
Dismiss it.
I make a motion on file number 467 of 25 West Hempstead, Christopher B. Glaudino, renewal of grant to maintain two-family house. This is the second time it's been on, and they have not shown up, although they were ordered to show up. So I therefore dismiss the case without prejudice.
Second? I second it. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. 11:49, and that concludes the morning calendar. We'll take a 30-second break and start decision. No, 30-second break. I need an anti-acid. Everything under the sun. Is nauseating. These guys are like 250 pounds, and they ordered everything on the goddamn menu, and I ate it.
motion on 58325 East Meadow, Richard and Maria Capes, renewal of grant to maintain a portion of pool entrance 8 foot high be granted as requested, 5 years, same conditions.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
584 and 585, 25 Wandsworth, 1733 Wandsworth LLC. Property address 1733 Wandsworth LLC. Any questions from the board?
I make a motion for 584-25 Wantor, 1733 Wantor LLC, renewal of grants, maintain previously approved two-family dwelling, maintain detached garage with non-permitted storage above, granted with certain conditions.
584 and 585.
Five, right, correct, I'm sorry. Same condition.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 586 through 588 of 2025 West Hempstead, CNR Studios, Inc., care of Brenda Picone. That too is a renewal. Property address is 666 Nassau Boulevard, the great antique store that hasn't been open in 13 years.
Go there.
I was thinking if it made sense, given all the information she gave us, if we wanted to re-grant it, to do so for so long as it's an antique store and/or owned by this family, because it sounds like, you know, something like that, upon change of
But
ownership.
your concern is the waiver of off-street parking.
Primarily.
So why don't we simply say, I don't know, can we say as long as it's owned by this family?
How about we say,
It's kind of weird. As long as it's an antique store.
There happens to be one case, which I can pick out for you guys, where it was a business that was being operated out of a single-family dwelling. Because historically, you can't
Run
grant,
with the land.
correct, you can't grant variances to people, it goes with the land.
Right.
Right.
But this one was very specific,
Which I wrote.
that the business was associated with the folks living there. So once they moved out and a real estate business tried to go in, they said no dice. And the court actually they upheld that.
But she said that she's probably going to.
Right.
Sell it.
And keep
which
it
is
in
why
the
this
family.
just seems like a stopgap
So,
measure.
do you guys want like a draft?
Yep.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Why don't we keep it on reserve for 10 years?
Well, my just thoughts, because she did state that she wanted to reopen it, but probably wouldn't.
Right.
So instead of doing the renewal for 5 years, maybe we do it for less time, and there be a condition that reads upon transfer or sale, it reverts back to a single-family home.
Okay, I like it.
Right. In the family.
Correct.
Not quite exactly.
Let's do a draft.
All right, so draft.
Do a draft, incorporating the concerns of the board members. All right, case 589 of 2025 Oceanside, Alan K. Leon, the BP station. That too was a renewal of a sign.
Thank you.
160 Davidson Avenue, any comments from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move case 589 of 25 Oceanside, Alan K. Leon, located at 160 Davidson Avenue, be approved as requested, term 5 years. Sign.
Same conditions.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Case 590 of 2025, Jennifer Roberts, variance, lot area occupied, maintaining the ugly outdoor shower, located at 2164 Seneca Drive.
Yeah.
Any comments from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that case 590 of 2025, as you've previously described it, affecting the property at 2164 Seneca Drive in Merrick, be approved as requested.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Case 591 of 2025, Belmore David Manara. Variance front yard setbacks on Mitchell Street and Mitchell Place. Side yard. Construct second-story addition, a portion of which is open below, front portico. And 2 AC units, all attached to dwelling. Property address is 104 Mitchell Street.
So the board will recall, this is the case where there was that intrusion. Mr. Katsundas actually emailed me the amended plot plan, which shows the existing shed is to be removed, and it also changes the description of that protrusion.
to propose direct vent fireplace and gives the setback, which is 3.9 feet. So amended plans have been submitted.
Yep, 591. Yeah, because
Keep the portico open and the porch open.
So I move that case 591, 2025 David Manara at 104 Mitchell Street be granted with conditions as in the amended site plan, which is just for clarification purposes.
Yep, the conditions and the front portico and the open below. I got that.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Case 592, West Hempstead, Eliana and Barry Bazian. Lot area occupied, side yard aggregate, constructed dwelling, demolish the existing one. 680 Colonnade Road in West Hempstead. Any comments from the board? If not,
I
go
move,
ahead.
I move case 592 of 2025, location of property 680 Colonnade Road in West Hempstead, be granted as requested with all conditions of a new dwelling.
All in favor? All, any opposed? Case 593 of 25 Roosevelt, Rupert A. and Sonia Backus. Variance lot area occupied, maintain a shed. That was a heavy. To Residence A. Wow, this was a biggie. Somebody want to make a motion on this one? Of course, you can have a question.
I make a motion on case number 593 at 25 Roosevelt, Rupert A. and Sonia Backus to maintain their shed, variance, lot area occupied be granted as requested.
I second it.
All in favor, aye.
Any opposed? Cases 594 and 595 of 25 Franklin Square. Wait a minute.
Go, Joe.
I would like to comment on that. I think that air conditioner, which was now identified as the basement split unit, should be denied. The rest of the case I thought was fine, other than maintain open porch not to be enclosed. That's, my comment is specific to that basement split unit.
Anybody else?
My
comment?
comment was, isn't this where the gentleman said that he was blaming it on the building department or the contractor for putting the pool equipment and all that on the side of the house? I think that all that stuff should be moved to the back. I mean,
You know
that's where
what?
it belongs.
If no one would mind, I think I'd like to look at that.
I was going to suggest that because
Gonna hold that.
there were also, it's an existing condition, it's been there for quite a while, and it's a 53 decibel, this one unit. There's two different issues. The location of it is concerns that some people have, but some of the stuff is there is right, some is not. The noise issue is not really one, and no one here has really raised that, because the neighbors next door have been listening to the 53 decibels, which is as low as I'm talking now, and have signed a letter and have no complaints about it, so there's no noise issue. But here's the, I'll just show you one. This one is, so the ones that say 5, they're as of right where they are. This one's 4 or 5, this one's 4. But see how this one sits this way? This one is the one, correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, that Joe thinks should be moved elsewhere. And we could make the move that, I'm not sure which ones Mark wants moved. These other two we could make move. We can't make them move these other two because they're as of right anyway.
He made the argument, the gentleman made the argument that they were all supposed to be in the back, but the contractor just did what he wanted. I think that's exactly what he said.
No, well, he's the architect.
Well, but
and
that's what he testified
Yeah, I mean,
to.
you can go back and listen
So,
to it. He
no,
said
but
he
my
completely
point-
agrees it was wrong what was done.
My point was, I was just listening to what they said, but I'll do whatever Joe,
I'm gonna
whatever you
go,
guys want.
I'll look.
Whatever you guys want. I
I'll
was
look
just
at it.
listening to what he said. That's all.
Just hold it.
Yeah.
He did say that.
Yes, but he's not the contractor. He wasn't working on, he said repeatedly, I agree with you guys, it's wrong. The contractor should not have done this, and, blah, blah, blah. He absolutely said that, 100%. But I'm just saying, like, he wasn't the contractor. Because he made that clarification.
Right. 596 and 597, 25 Point Lookout, Richard and Lorianne Brown. Any comments? Somebody want to make a motion?
This is about 96. So
96 and 7, that's in
Yeah, actually,
Point Lookout.
yeah, and I was actually fine with that, no enclosure condition. Let's see what I wrote.
And I also have that the basement be converted to unfinished.
Right, yes, exactly.
It's in a flood zone.
Remove, yeah, it's in a flood zone, but it's finished basement, so remove, as you know, we said it in the thing, remove it, and it may not be otherwise finished in the future, and then no enclosure part, and then otherwise, I'll make a motion. All right, so I move that case 490,
596.
I know, 596, 2025, and 597, 2025, affecting the property at 88 Belmore Avenue in Point Lookout, property of Richard and Laura Ann Brown, be approved as requested with the conditions discussed by the board and previously agreed to by the applicants.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 598 of 25 in Elmont, Nazir Khan and Tricia Ramsey. Front yard average setback, side yard aggregate, construct the second-story addition and two-story addition, partially open below, so there'll be and I believe the applicant consented to a condition that the open portion and the portico not be further enclosed.
Yep.
Somebody want to make a motion?
Yeah, I make the motion.
720 Cafe Court.
598-25, Elmont, variances, front yard, average setback, side yard, aggregate construct, two-story addition, and I believe it should be granted with conditions.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Cases 599 through 601 of 2025 Uniondale. Leslie Tiss. This is the natatorium. When I was wrong, it was the same natatorium. There is only one natatorium case that we have ever heard, and it's this one. All right, somebody want to make a motion on this case? Because there are certain things that
I
we
just
wanna
want to say
approve.
for whoever's motion it is, if we're granting all the natatorium stuff,
And the
then we
4
don't
foot high.
need, we do not grant, maintain the deck and the pool with the 4-foot-high improper pool enclosure.
Right.
Is that how you understand it, Christina?
I
That's
thought
what-
it was, okay, yeah, 99, and so 600 to be dismissed as moot, correct?
Okay.
Is that,
Yeah, because according to Becky, if we grant the natatorium, then it is the full enclosure. And I don't want to grant a substandard pool enclosure if we don't need to. And apparently, as I understand it, it is moot.
because then it would be an addition as opposed to.
Correct.
But you're talking about this fence.
Well, we're talking, there's two
You don't
different
need,
ones.
you don't need to grant the variance on the fence,
But the fence can
the
remain.
4 foot high.
No, there's two different fences.
Yes.
That's the one that's still relevant, the one that's already dwelling, it's case 600.
Go ahead. Mrs. Tomato has some.
No, I only wanted to comment. I didn't know whose turn it was to make a motion. I just wanted to make sure we didn't grant a variance of an improper pool enclosure unnecessarily because you don't want those floating around.
Okay, I make a motion, 599 to 60125 Uniondale Leslie Tiss, located at 1324 Pembroke Street, be approved as requested, except case 600 is being dismissed as moot.
And the fence forward of the dwelling granted temporarily with conditions?
Yes, you bet.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Case 467, case 467 of 2025, that is West Hempstead, Christopher B. Glaudino, that's renewal of the grant to maintain a two-family dwelling at 447 Birch Street. An order to appear was sent and was seemingly ignored. Can I have a motion on that case, since I'm following certain procedures I've observed over my lifetime to ratify things that may not have been done. Can I have a motion?
Mark,
I'll make a motion on file number 467 of 25, West Hempstead, Christopher B. Glaudino, as the chairman said, be dismissed without prejudice.
Second? Second. All in favor? Any opposed? And finalmente, case 520 of 2025 in Merrick. Jane Metzel, variance lot area occupied, front yard setback on Madison Street. Construct the one-story addition attached to dwelling, remove the one-story portion of the dwelling and steps. Property address is 144 Stuyvesant Avenue in Merrick. Any comments from the board? If not, do I have a motion? Somebody?
2025 in Merrick, Jane Matzel at 144 Stuyvesant Avenue in Merrick be granted as requested.
Second? All in favor? Any opposed? Let's go to the videotape on the reserve calendar. Anything on page 1?
I have nothing on page 1, but I do know that the building department was contacted on case 538 of 25 to do an inspection,
And?
and we're waiting for the response.
Okay, so we're not doing anything. Okay, and if you have one this afternoon, we'll revisit it.
I have, I looked again at the one near Island Park with that shed.
Which one? What
He's got it,
case?
it's not that big a shed, it looks bigger than it is. It's a shed, but the problem is he wants a staircase on it, and that just can't be. Wait, I think this is the right one.
Which one?
Correct.
Wait, no, that isn't it, wait.
That is, it's,
Why, oh, yeah, there they are, I couldn't find the stairs. Yeah, so I went inside of it, it is literally a shed, and then he has an outdoor staircase that has to be taken off. But inside there, there's a little, he has tools lined up, and, he's just gonna have to use a ladder to get the tools out if he needs to, or something. Let's see, maybe. So I would suggest, the size was, it looks, it has horizontal maximum, but honestly, it's hidden behind bushes. You can't even see it, so I'm not concerned about that, but the stairs have to come off.
so granted for tonight, folks?
Yes, but I'll make the motion. I move that as it relates to 472 of 2025, property 240 California Place near Island Park, that it be granted in part and denied in part. We allow him to keep the shed and the little, it says two-story, it's really a little storage area, but remove the stairs, the exterior staircase, and he's just gonna have to use a ladder or something to get in there to get his tools.
Second?
Second that?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Did someone want to make a motion on 1314 of 2025? Okay. And I would like to hold that case. Okay.
The only update that I have on the next page, page 2, is regarding case 247 of 25. We did speak to the applicant's attorney, and that was the Jewish Heritage Center at Queens and Long Island. We did reach out to the attorney and advise them that we would like the two attorneys to discuss and see if anything can be done to, appease the neighbors' concerns.
it's worth, it's a Greek Orthodox senior living home. They need an extension of time. It was granted by the board on September 10th, 2014, and they need to just complete their construction. It looks like it's well-maintained, and I would recommend that we give them, it's all interior, what needs to be finished. Give them a 1-year extension of time.
Anybody object to that, 1-year extension?
Move that we close the 9:30 calendar and adjourn to 2 p.m.
Second, all in favor? Opposed?